Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel Psychological Theatre. We have missed the video for the last week. I was out of the city for a work trip and I didn't get the chance to find the right time to make the video, and I did share some updates on Instagram. If you're following me on Instagram, if you're not, you can find the link of Instagram in the bio of the channel, and you can also follow on Instagram where we're trying to share some everyday life bits and trying to connect them with the act of meditation. Today I would like to continue with our last discussion, which was about the effect of language and what language basically is and how it plays an impact in our life. So we discussed in the last video that the need of the development of the language would have been in the sense that we would have started naming things first, like naming the tree, naming the stones, naming the rocks, naming important places to meet when man was still in the jungle, in the caves, and he would have named some important places of meeting when they would go for hunt. The important trees, maybe they find some tree which is good, which has nice fruits, medicinal properties or something. So these would have been the reason for the first action of start naming the nouns, the objects themselves, that I name this object as this, I name this object as that. And as the naming would have happened, naturally the next step would have been the naming of the action related to that object. Okay, I named the object, the stone, but then I also need to name the action that is to be performed regarding the object itself, like what to do with the stone. Should I pick it up? Should I throw it? Should I crush it? And that would have led to the naming of actions: walk, talk, run, meet, climb. I don't know, some basic actions that humans would have needed at that point, and then that would have started the whole process. And the final step, which is also a crucial step, would be the naming of the entity who would execute the action. So we would have named the object first, and the reason I say it would have happened like this, because what is in front of us, naturally we would have named that first. So because things in front of us, it's very natural that if I'm developing a language for the first time as a human, I would have first named those things. And then eventually, after naming those things, I would have faced the challenge about what to do with those things, and then the action would have come. And then eventually the last challenge would have come. Okay, we know the object, we know what is to be done with the object, but who will do it? Am I going to do it? Are you going to do it? Are 10 people going to do it? Who will do it? And that would have required and started the need for naming the actors, the subject. Okay? So the actor had many names then. Some of the names which we are actually quite used to, like I go tree, maybe. This would have been a very basic initial sentence, and I'm saying it in English, but maybe these would have been some initial sounds that the humans would have made. Or you go there, or they go there, and every language has their own sounds. Okay, so that's the whole essence of naming the subject, that who will execute the action, who will carry out the action. So as the subject would have been named, then the problem would have been much simpler to tell each other what is to be done about what. Now, the bigger problem that arose from this, that language solved one problem, that it gave a means of communication. It gave a means of me telling you what I want to do, or what I would like to do, or maybe I want to make a plan with you. So we could communicate with each other with language. But then another problem, which we also discussed in the last episode, was that as we use language more and more and more and more, the name of the object almost starts to replace the actual object. Okay? Because I start calling the tree as a tree, an elephant as an elephant, I start assuming that just because I know the word elephant, I actually know the entity elephant. Okay? The entity elephant is a very complex system of nervous system and a lot of things, just like our body. But a person walking on the street looking at an elephant in a zoo or somewhere could feel like it knows what it is just because it knows the name of it, elephant. And the same could be applied for tree or anything else. So this gave rise to a very beautiful and complex problem, that the word started taking the place of the actual thing. That the words, just because I know the name of something, I started to feel or think that I actually know that thing. Okay? And this becomes a hugely complicated and tremendously important problem when you apply it on the subject, when I apply it on myself. That just because I know my name, I start to assume that I know myself. Okay? Just because I know my family name, just because I know what kind of work I do, my occupation I do, then I start to assume that I actually know what I am. Okay? What is my essence? And this could be easily seen that on the street, if you would ask someone, what are you? Even if you don't ask who are you, even if you ask what are you, people would generally start to give you these names, that I'm ABCD, this is my name, this is my family name, this is my occupation, this is where I live, and which are all just names of certain things. So inherently, language came with the problem that it started giving us the illusion that just because I know the word, I actually know the object or the subject. Okay? And if I already see or believe or feel that I know myself, then I would never investigate, then I would never want to check what I actually am. Because in my mind, I already think that I know myself. Like, I'm this, my name is this, my nationality is this, and my social status is this. So all these words start giving us the impression that we actually know ourselves. Okay? And this is where meditation comes to wake you up. This is where the job of the meditation begins. This is the job of the teacher that begins, who starts to show you that just because you know the word, even externally, just because you know the word tree, it doesn't mean you know the actual tree. In the same way, just because you know some words about yourself, it doesn't mean you know what you are. And that is the point of realization from where the process of investigation begins. The acceptance of the fact that I do not know myself. Okay? The perception of the fact that my understanding about myself is merely a collection of words. Okay? I do know that I have a collection of words about myself. What is my name? What is my family name? And blah, blah, all those things. But in essence, I really don't know what I am, how I operate. Am I just this body? But then people say, no, you're the mind. And then some more heavily religious and wrongly religious, because the right meaning of the word religion is something else, and the so-called religions that we see nowadays are just kind of pollution, I would say. They are not religion actually, but because that is the way the word is being used everywhere, I would say that these heavily loaded religious people start to even claim bigger things, that no, I'm the soul, and then some would say I am the super soul, and then some would say something else. So the whole point is a lot of claims are made about the self, but there are very few who actually take the pain of an actual investigation. Okay, you could believe what people tell you, which is our first initial approach. A child is born and the child is told, you are this, your name is this, you are my son, you are my daughter, and all the story has been told to the child, right? And this is the tragedy as well, in a way, that the child loses all its curiosity because it already gets all the answers from the parents and the society, and then there is no really need to know, there is no need to question. This hunger for asking question slowly dies, and you would see young children ask a lot of questions, and as they grow up, this hunger to ask questions slowly falls off. So the whole point now comes to the question that just because I know the names about myself, it doesn't mean that I actually know myself. Okay, so the honest meditation begins with the acceptance of the fact that I do not know myself. Okay, and I'm not saying it on the basis of some beliefs, I'm not saying it on the basis of some hallucinations, some illusions. I'm saying it on the basis of a practical observation of myself. When during the day I see how I operate, I see that what kind of a chaos I carry with myself when I operate. I see that I really don't know why things happen inside of me. I do not know why I start thinking all of a sudden. I do not know where does anger come from all of a sudden. I do not know why I become anxious all of a sudden. Okay, I do not know sometimes without any reason why I become sad. So actually I do not know about myself, but this point only comes after you have observed yourself a little bit, after you listen to the teacher, you listen to someone who is telling you, you do not know yourself, my friend, and then you listen to this person and you try to make a few experiments with yourself, and you actually see that yes, I do not know myself. So from that point you start to move on the field of meditation, because then you actually have in hand evidence that you do not know yourself. What you know is just merely a collection of words. Okay, that collection of words is very useful to communicate. When I say I'm A and I'm talking to B and everything is communicated, that's fine. But when I start to realize that I am actually A, when my name becomes my existence, then the whole thing starts to fall apart, because then your whole existence is empty. Okay, a word is inherently empty. You have to put meaning in it. I can use the word apple and give it any meaning. The word, exactly, you see, the word apple in the English language has become so connected to the actual apple that if I say no, apple actually means the grass, you start to feel weird inside of you, because the word has become the actual thing for you. But in reality, the word is just a code. It's just a sign. It doesn't have a meaning in itself, the word apple. We have given it a meaning that yes, apple means this fruit which is red and everything. But if someone wants, they can use the same word for some other meaning if they define it. That okay, I would use the word apple for something else. And we have this kind of examples where in the language the same word is used for different meanings. So my whole point is that because of this acceptance of the word as the real thing, we have started to feel a fake reality regarding ourselves. All the words that I am this, my nationality is this and this and this, have actually created feelings inside of you, even though they are just empty words. They don't have actual content in them. They don't have something actual in them. Okay, but because you have used them for such a long time in a certain way, and you have never questioned it, that is the word, what is behind the word, those words have got a sense of reality inside of you. Okay, and because of that sense of reality, those words actually start to affect you, even though they are just words. So a person standing 10 meters away from you calls you stupid, okay, and you say, I got hurt. Now, even though this person hasn't touched you, he didn't throw a rock at you, nothing happened, physically you were totally untouched, and yet just because a word went to your ears, you felt hurt inside. Do you see this? So some people call this higher sensitivity, but this is absolutely the opposite of sensitivity. Sensitivity is something totally different, that maybe we will discuss it some other time. But this whole sense of words getting a reality is what we are trapped inside. We have to clean the meaning of each word. That is one of the major part of meditation. Actually, meditation is just not to have a magical experience by sitting somewhere, closing your eyes and breathing like this and that. That could have medicinal benefits, health benefits or something like this. But the whole point here in meditation is to clean the darkness inside of you, to clean this blindness which has poisoned our perception. Okay? And one aspect of that is language. One aspect of that poison is language. The way language has taken the place of reality is a big problem in our lives. So the meaning of each word has to be cleaned, especially important words. Okay? Words like love, compassion, beauty, myself, I, observation, perception, knowledge, learning, all these are very important words in life. And we have predefined definitions and we have filled these definitions in these words. So whenever a good teacher is even trying to convey something, what we receive is actually totally different. So let's observe the fact that the word has become the reality. Let's observe the fact that the word I, the word me, my name, because I have used these few words, these words which denote the subject, the actor, I think that those things are real just because I use those words. And I have started to generate feelings about them. If someone says my name and joins a bad word with it, I start to feel something. But if someone says my name and uses a praise, I start to feel something. Okay? So, can we observe this in our daily life, that how the words are kind of trying to slave us? The words are trying to capture us. And the words are trying to put a screen on the actuality of life. The actuality of life is something totally different. When you would go behind the word, when you would say, okay, my name is John, but who is John? Let's go behind it. John is just a name, a label. Let's see more. The word I, when I use the word I, what do I actually mean by it? What is the actual substance of I? Can I check it? And that would clean the meaning of those words for you. Okay? And usually society doesn't let you go in that direction. Usually schools don't teach you this, because the system has been so. Okay, some conspiracy theorist could say they want people to stay stupid. Maybe they are right, I don't know. But at the current level of society, at the current level of our education system, nothing is questioning it. Nothing is questioning the damage done by language in our daily life. Okay? Language can be a very beautiful tool if it's used as a tool. But when language starts to replace your identity, your actuality, your essence, then whole loads of trouble comes to your life. So, if you are listening this, try to listen it with empty ears. Okay? Don't fill meaning inside the words that you've heard. Okay? Don't try to understand it in your way. Don't try to understand it using your own examples. Don't try to understand it using your own feelings. Just be with what is being said. Just observe the actuality of the fact that I'm trying to share with you. Okay? So, give it a try this week, and as always, if you guys have some question, then please write to me. You can write to me on Instagram, you can write to me in comments on the YouTube, and I think I have also put the Gmail of the channel on the channel description. It's possible maybe I don't open that Gmail so much, so the easier way would be just to comment in the video, and that I would definitely read, because that's what I check on a regular basis. So I hope I was able to share with you the juice of the matter, the taste of the fact that I really wanted to share with you. I think that would be all for today. Thank you very much.